Alright everyone, and welcome to a brand new module here in the Academy. Now this module in particular is very important. It is very crucial because we're going to cover a lot of essential topics that you need to have in order before moving into the rest of the program. So essentially this module is all about setting the right foundations moving forward. Now, this module in particular is quite different from all the rest of the modules in the Academy because you won't actually be seeing me. You'll just be looking at this presentation, which is very detailed and which is taking a long time to prepare because there are so many different bases that we need to touch on before you move into the rest of the Academy so we can ensure that you get the most out of this program. Now, some of you might be sitting and thinking, oh, well, I've already studied 5 or 10 courses, or, oh, I've already signed my first 7 clients and I'm already making $20,000 per month with my agency. It doesn't matter how many courses you've studied or what you're making with your agency. You cannot skip this module, okay? Because we're also going to cover some things that actually, there's certain things in the Academy and certain aspects of our mastermind group that you won't even be allowed to participate in unless you watch this module in its entirety, okay? So no matter what your situation is, sit back, relax, and take in everything that we're going to cover in this module because there are a lot of essential aspects moving into the rest of the program. So without any further ado, everyone, setting the right foundation. So firstly, a large congratulations to you for investing into this program and into yourself. What you have in front of you is without a doubt the most complete agency program on earth when it comes to starting an agency from scratch and taking it from $0 to $15,000 per month. In this program, you're going to learn and hear things that you've never heard or seen before. And so it's important that you keep an open mind throughout the course of the Academy. Okay, you're going to study the industry's leading and most efficient knowledge, and you're going to receive access to a wide range of powerful resources and systems. Now, we're not going to break each of these systems and resources down in this module because each and every one of them have their own proprietary individual modules in which we illustrate how to go about using them. All right. In other words, by the end of this program, you will have everything you need to go out and start a social media marketing agency and grow it to $15,000 per month. Throughout the Academy, you will learn to set yourself up for success with the right foundations. You will get a complete overview of the business model and the way that we've shaped it. Okay, so not just a business model, but the way that we at Stage Digital, throughout our years of experience working with clients globally, have shaped the business model and boiled it down to its core to make it the most efficient way of running a social media marketing agency. Okay, so the business model that you'll really be taught in this module, in this program, is the most efficient shape and form of the social media marketing agency business model. All right. Then you're going to learn how to find and contact clients and how to close efficiently in your meetings. Okay, so you're going to get the most efficient methods for finding clients, contacting clients, and closing them efficiently in your meetings, ensuring that on average, you're going to make 2, 3, 4 times as much from every single meeting you take with potential clients. Okay. Then you're going to obtain the required knowledge to run profitable campaigns for your clients, ensuring them amazing results. So not only are you going to learn how to find, contact, and close clients, we're also going to give you advanced ads knowledge that you can go out and use to deliver amazing results for your clients so that they'll stay with you for years on end. And then you're going to learn how to successfully manage your agency. Okay, so what it takes to get to $15,000 and what it takes to go beyond. Okay, so not only are you going to learn to get clients, deliver results to them, we're also going to give you the required knowledge and systems in order to manage your agency successfully once you've hit that $15,000 per month mark so that you can actually stay there for a long time, okay? So what we'll cover in this particular module is general rules and how to get the most out of this program, some very important rules that you must remember going into this program, some important things that you must remember going into this training, so some really crucial pitfalls and aspects that can make it or break it for you, okay? Then you're going to obtain an overview of what the program is all about and why it's the absolute best in its class. We're going to cover your personal foundations and why they're fundamental to the success of your agency. And then in the end, we're going to look at the raw math behind seeing incredible results with your new business. Okay, so setting goals and then just looking at the raw math behind those goals to see how realistic they actually are. Okay, so here's how to get the most out of this program. Firstly, it's important to stress that this program is designed to be studied at your own pace, so you have lifetime access. Okay, so I don't want to see anyone rushing through the course in 48 hours because you could do that if you just had a couple of sleepless nights, but there's no reason to do that because research suggests that you learn much more if you're well rested, first of all, and if you do it at your own pace. Okay, so you have lifetime access to this course, so study it at your own pace. Some people prefer to do a phase per day. Some people prefer to do 1 or 2 modules per day. Okay, so study it at your own pace because you have access forever. Now, here's one thing that's really important. You must watch the phases and the modules in sequential order. Okay, so you cannot watch phase 1 and then skip to phase 4 and then go back to phase 2 and then watch phase 6. Okay, you must watch the phase in chronological order from start to finish. Okay, so phase 1, 2, 3, and so on and so on. You must go through the course in chronological order because that's the way it's been designed to be studied. Okay, and so if you start picking and choosing and skipping throughout the course, well, then it will be very hard for you to succeed with the course, because we're going to give you structures, resources, and systems during the course of the program that are meant to be discovered and learned how to use in sequential order. Okay, so it's very important that you study through the entire course in chronological order. Then you must be an active participant in our mastermind community, because we lift each other up. Okay, we see a clear correlation between the people who are the most active in our mastermind group and the people who see the most success with their agency. It's always those who are the most active in the mastermind group that are also the most successful with their agency, because when we're active in there, we lift each other up and we share knowledge with each other, and so we become stronger together. All right. Then you must remember that this is all about converting knowledge to real life. Studying is not enough. We've seen it happen time and time again. People study through the academy and then think by the end of the academy, results will start appearing in front of them magically and automatically. Okay, that's not how it works. Now, it seems obvious, but for some people, subconsciously, this is not obvious for them. Okay, so you must remember that once you've studied through the entirety of the course, you have to follow the structures that I gave you, because the results are only going to come if you convert this knowledge and these systems into real life. Okay, so as I said, you have to follow the structures and the plans that I give you. Okay, throughout the course, you're going to get schedules, structures, and different planning tools that you can use to plan how much outreach you're going to be doing, when you're going to be doing your work, the exact things you're going to be doing in the different weeks, etc. And so when I give you these structures, you have to follow them. Don't think, oh, I'll just modify this plan, or I'll just do whatever works for me, because in the end, I've built a very successful agency through years in this industry, so I know what works. But not only that, I've also helped hundreds of members of the academy before you start up their own successful social media marketing agency. And so through doing that, I've seen what works and what doesn't, and I know exactly what it takes to succeed with your agency. So when I've created a plan, a schedule, or a structure that I'm telling you to follow, it's because I know it works. And 99.9% of you watching this right now, you won't really know what works. Okay, so there's no reason not to follow the exact structures that I give you that have been proven to work through trial and error. Now, here are some general rules and directions for our mastermind community. Okay, so firstly, you should join our mastermind community if you haven't already done this. Okay, the link is once again below this module, and you should download the apps. Okay, so it's very important that you download the Discord app on both your mobile device and on your computer. Okay, and it's also very important that you turn on notifications on both of your devices. Okay, because unlike a Facebook or an Instagram notification that could actually distract you and take you away from doing something good, these notifications that you get from our mastermind group will always be valuable. Okay, so by turning on notifications, you'll have a steady stream of valuable notifications coming onto your devices every single day. Okay, and so these are actually notifications that you're actually getting a benefit from clicking on. Okay, this is very different from all the distracting notifications you're getting from your social media platforms. Okay, it's really important that you have all notifications on the Discord app and on our community group, so that you can actually extract the value every time somebody is sharing something valuable inside of the group. Then you must remember that promotions are not allowed in our group, okay? And this will result in an immediate ban from the group. We have a very strict policy regarding promotions, so don't send links to your own products or anything that's irrelevant inside of the group, because these promotions will result in a ban. And also, no negativity or irrelevant/distracting topics are allowed. This can also result in a ban, okay? So we're a group of positive, like-minded individuals who are winning at life, okay? And so we don't want to see anyone just complaining or being straight up negative inside of the group, because this doesn't help anyone, okay? Sure, if you're struggling with something or you are asking for constructive feedback and constructive answers to an issue that you might be having in your agency, that's always welcome. Of course, we're not only sharing our wins, we have the group to help each other. But if you're just being negative and not asking for help from the others and not asking for constructive criticism, well, then you could be banned for that, okay? Here's another really important one. You should always seek to help others before you ask for help yourself, okay? We call this injecting more than you extract, okay? Because this results in a valuable loop for everyone. So always seek to help others before you ask for help yourself, all right? Try to always inject more knowledge into the group than you extract from the group, because if everyone does this, we'll have this positive, valuable loop for everyone, and everyone will gain exponentially more from the group, okay? So don't just enter the group once a week, ask a question, and just extract all the answers that you can, and then not participate in the group for the rest of the week, okay? Because what you'll see is that if you start to help people more, then people will help you more. And this is a valuable loop, this is a positive loop that keeps growing, all right? So always seek to help others before you ask for help from others first, okay? This is a really, really important rule in there. Always, if anyone is asking a question that you have the answer to, well, don't hesitate to answer that question, right? Because that person will immensely appreciate the fact that you're taking just a couple of seconds or a minute out of your day to answer his or her question, okay? Now, here are our mastermind group ranks and roles, okay? So inside of the group, you'll see that people's names are colored differently. And this is because they're in different ranks depending on their status and experience with running a social media marketing agency, okay? So firstly, when you join the group as an Academy member, your name will be green, and that's because you're a novice Academy member, okay? Once you sign your first client, your name will become yellow. Granted, of course, that you share the fact that you've closed your first client with us inside of the group, so that we know that you've closed your first client. Once we know this, your name will change to yellow, and you'll have the rank of client experience, okay? Furthermore, a more valuable rank is the blue rank, okay? The blue rank is given to those that we see consistently providing others inside of the group with valuable feedback and valuable answers to questions. And we always monitor the group very carefully, and we see that when people are continuously providing great value inside of the group, well, then we upgrade them to the blue rank. And so whenever somebody with a blue name is saying something, well, then you should listen carefully, because it's someone that we've personally upgraded to this rank, because we know that what they're saying is valuable. After that, we have this sort of purple color for Academy Pro members. Okay, so this is typically people who are doing quite well with their agency and who are inside of Academy Pro. They will have this color. After that, we have our elite members, and these elite members get this sort of dark orange color, almost red color, and these are the people that are making $10,000 or more per month with their agency. And then finally, we have the upper echelon, so they get the official legendary orange color, and this is our highest rank, okay? And so this is for the people that, first of all, have experience managing more than $25,000 in monthly ad spend for their clients, and also has provided immensely great value, not just inside of the group, but also inside of our weekly Q&A calls consistently for weeks and months on end. Okay, so it is very, very difficult to achieve the upper echelon rank, and it's only given to a very, very select amount of people. But if you see someone with this color name, and if you click on their profile, you can see that they're in the upper echelon, well, then you should absolutely listen to anything they have to say, because it means that it's one of our most valued members. All right, moving on, here is how to seek help and support throughout the course and through our mastermind group. Okay, so firstly, you should start by studying all the modules in full, because this will answer 99% of potential questions on your mind, okay? So don't just start out by watching the first module and then making a list of 10 questions to ask in the group, okay? It's because just by studying all the modules in full, 99% of questions will be answered, okay? That being said, there is no such thing as stupid questions in the group, okay? So if there's something that you forgot through studying all the modules, or if there's something that you just quite didn't understand or pick up through the entire of the course, well, you're more than welcome to ask any potential question that might be on your mind inside of the group, okay? No matter what it is, you're always welcome to ask a question in there. Then, of course, as I said, ask for help in our community group. If there's something that you didn't get an answer to through the modules, well, then ask for help, because expert Academy members and my team will help you inside of the group. Now, here it's important to stress that you're more than welcome to answer questions of other members, even though you're not one of our expert Academy members, even though you're not in one of our higher ranks, or even though you're not a team member of Stage Digital or the Academy, okay? So it doesn't matter if you've just come into the Academy and you have no client experience yet. If somebody asks a question that you have the answer to, well, then you're always more than welcome to answer that question. Okay, and then you should always attend our weekly live Q&A calls, because this is your chance to ask in-depth questions and get answers live. Okay, so the amount of value that we give out on our live Q&A calls is just out of this world. And again, we see a huge correlation between our most successful members and the ones who are consistently attending our live Q&A calls. And some of our most successful members ever are the members who joined the first live Q&A call that was hosted since the day they joined the Academy, and actually also attended the last Q&A call that was hosted before recording this module. Okay, so what we see is those who achieve the most success are those who are attending every single live Q&A call, not just at the beginning, but also when they start to see huge success with their agency. Okay, so these are always the people that are most consistent with participating in the group, participating in live Q&A calls, and just being consistent with their business as a whole. Okay, these are always the people that see the most success. Then if you have any further questions or requests, well, then you're more than welcome to email us at support@stagedigital.agency or send a direct message to the team on Discord, but preferably contact us through this email. Okay, now here are some immensely important things that you must remember going into this program in order to get the most out of the program. Okay, so firstly, remember that there is no such thing as a magic pill in business. Okay, the program will give you real knowledge and real systems. So there's no such thing as a miraculous business model or a trend that you must jump on quickly. Okay, this is a real business model. 90% of businesses on earth need marketing, and they need social media marketing. And so what you do is you study this course to learn how to do social media marketing, and then you go out and offer that service to businesses, and they're more than happy to pay you on a monthly basis to deliver this service for them. Okay, so remember, there's no such thing as being lucky here. There's no such thing as a magic pill. This is just a very simple business model that works because we deliver the service that businesses want, and they pay us on a monthly basis to do this. Okay, so just remember, if you think that this is too good to be true, or if you think that it's unrealistic, it's really not. Just look at the facts. It's a very simple business model. We provide what businesses want, and they pay us in return for this. Okay, then this program requires you to put in the work. Okay, and sometimes that will feel like a challenge. It's important to remember that, as I explained earlier, nothing will happen just by studying the course and then thinking the results are going to come to you automatically. This program really does require you to put in lots of work, and sometimes, of course, doing the work will seem like a challenge. But yeah, you will at times be pushed out of your comfort zone, and that's a really good thing, okay? Because this breeds growth. So just remember that when it feels like a challenge to do the work, or when you're feeling pushed out of your comfort zone, remember that it's a good thing, because usually this means that you're actually growing as a person and growing as a business owner, okay? Nothing will happen if you just study the course, take notes, and then never take action on what you have. The social media marketing industry is not a fluke or a trend. It's real, and it's come to stay. Okay, so as I said, there's no trend here. There's no lucky business model. This is not a fluke or trend. It is real, and it has come to stay. Okay, so these are very important things that you all need to remember and take with you going into this program. Now, you will face heavy resistance, okay? Most people tend to think that resistance is a bad thing and that they should search elsewhere when faced with resistance, okay? But the opposite is actually true. You want to embrace resistance and take it as feedback that you're going in the right direction, that you're going in the right way, okay? Because it's just like with video games. Video games, they become gradually more challenging as you climb the ranks and levels, and the same goes for life, okay? So you actually need to start getting used to and learning to treat life and running a business a little bit like playing a video games. Of course, only to a certain extent, and don't take this too far. But just like in a video game, you get addicted to the process of climbing the levels and becoming better and better. Okay, the same thing goes for here. Okay, of course it's going to be more challenging playing at the level which is running a successful social media marketing agency that's making $50,000 per month and having the freedom to do whatever you want, work whenever you want, live wherever you want. Of course, that's playing at a higher level of life. And of course, that's a little bit more challenging than playing at the level of life, which is scanning groceries in a supermarket. Okay, now we're not looking down upon anyone here. We're simply stating the facts, which is these are two different levels of life and they allow you to live life on different terms and to live life with more freedom. Okay, and so you need to understand that this is just like a video game. It becomes more challenging as you climb the ranks and levels of life, but it also becomes much more fun. Okay, and so that's why you need to embrace resistance. And when you feel like you're challenged or when you feel like you're faced with a lot of resistance, you need to take it as feedback that you're going in the right direction, because it means that you're growing and it means that you're climbing the levels of life or this video game, which is running a social media marketing agency. Okay, now of course I'm not saying that running a social media marketing agency is playing a video game, but there's actually a lot of similarities to be found. Okay, you sit in front of your computer. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you have a Wi-Fi, you can play this game or you can run this business, and you have to gradually become better and better as you climb the levels, as you sign more clients, and as you start making more money. Okay, so there's a lot of similarities between the two, and of course don't take this too far, don't take this idea too far, but you guys start to get the idea of what I'm trying to say here. Okay, you climb the levels of life, it becomes more challenging, you have to put in more work because it requires more skills, but you also have more fun and you get the freedom to do more things. Okay, if you learn to enjoy this challenge and this resistance, then you will achieve remarkable things in life. So facing the cold wall of procrastination. Now, you need to remember that you'll be tempted to do everything else than the work and the sale. Okay, and so you need to notice when you start to procrastinate, and you have to force yourself in the opposite direction. Okay, so you'll be sat in front of your computer about to reach out to a business or about to take a meeting, and you'll be forced to do everything else than the work and doing that sale. Okay, and so you have to gradually start noticing when it is you start to procrastinate, and then you have to tell yourself and force yourself to go in the opposite direction, because often when you feel your body and your mind leaning towards procrastination, 99% of the time going in the opposite direction is the right direction. Okay, because that's the direction that will promote growth for you and your business. Okay, so what you have to remember is that procrastination is short-term happiness, and long-term happiness is seeing results and progress and doing the work. Okay, some people seem to think that playing video games or eating unhealthy or watching videos and movies, they seem to think that that's what makes them happy in life, and that's because their brain is subconsciously telling them that that's what's making them happy in life, because through doing these things, they're getting a lot of, their brain is generating a lot of dopamine spikes. Okay, now these are the kind of dopamines that we call false dopamines, because you think you're happy, but you're doing something that's not beneficial to you. And so you slowly and gradually have to start getting used to getting happiness from seeing results and progress. Okay, now these are more sort of lean dopamines. Okay, so they're not gonna give you that same spike that eating a Snickers bar or watching an exciting movie might. But once you start getting used to getting less of those false dopamines and getting more of those real long-term lean dopamines, well, that's when you'll really start to enjoy the process and enjoy the work, and that's when you'll really grow as a person and grow as a business owner. Okay, and that's the only way to truly achieve a long-term happiness. Okay, so just notice when you start to procrastinate, notice when you want these false dopamine spikes, and always force yourself in the opposite direction. Okay, what you also need to remember is that 1 week of hard work will not get you to where you want to be. Okay, you have to stay consistent. We've seen it happen time and time again. Members of the academy coming in, studying the entire course through, and then putting in the work for 3, 4, 5 days or a week, and then saying, oh, I didn't close my first client, I'm just gonna give up. Okay, obviously that's not what they say, but that's the action they take. Okay, and so you have to remember that for a lot of you, nothing will happen in your first week. Okay, sure, we've seen people reach $10,000 in a month of starting, but we've also seen people where it took them 2 months or 3 months to close their first client. Okay, of course this depends on the amount of work you put in. It also depends on the quality of the work you put in. It depends on a lot of variable factors, but you have to remember that no matter what, you have to stay consistent and you must never give up before you close that first client, because that's when everything starts to turn around for you, okay? If you follow these structures and plans that I give you in this program and stay relentless with your discipline, then you will see results. It's that simple. Okay, so as I explained earlier, if you follow the structures and plans and schedules that I give you, well, then it will be almost impossible for you not to see results, okay? Because I know what works. I've grown a very successful agency myself, and I've helped hundreds of others, Academy members, do the same thing, okay? And so I've created structures and plans that work, and if you stay consistent with them, and if you stay relentless with your discipline, then you will see results. It's quite simple. Right. Now, let's talk a little bit about practicing positive feedback loops in your business. Right. So you have to learn from your mistakes and improve gradually as you go. You must remember that nothing is a failure, and that some sales methods or even some clients we try to make work will inevitably fail. And that's completely all right. Okay. You have to take full action all the time and know that everything you do won't be perfect. And doubt often means that you're making big leaps. Okay. So don't stop because you doubt yourself, or stop because you think something is a failure. You have to remember that nothing here is a failure. Some things you try will stick and some won't. Okay, some methods will work and some won't. Some things we try will inevitably fail, and that's okay. You just have to keep taking full action all the time and know that everything you do won't be perfect, and that whenever you feel that you're doubting yourself or what you're doing, it quite likely means that you're making big leaps forward. Okay, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to succeed, because this is your shot at the big leagues of life. Okay, remember how we talked about climbing the levels of this life or this video game? Well, this is your shot at the big leagues. Okay, this is your shot at climbing those ranks and achieving the freedom that you want to live life on your terms and how you want it. And of course, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to succeed at doing that. Okay, this is your dream. Okay, so you really have to hold on tight to that dream and not let it go at any cost. There's a reason that you enrolled into this program, and that was most likely to start a very profitable and successful agency that will allow you to live life how you want it, right? And there's a very, very strong and particular reason that you made that choice. Okay, it's because you want to be in that situation. And so, like, imagine yourself trying to do that for even 6 weeks or 8 weeks and still not seeing any success, and then giving up. Why would you give up? We're still just talking about 2 months here, right? We're talking about such a small increment of life that by putting in the work consistently could change the rest of your life. Okay, so you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to succeed, because as I said, this is your shot at the big leagues of life. If you're here to simply try for a few days and then complain because it's too hard, well, then you won't have our sympathy. Okay, because we're a group of driven entrepreneurs with one goal in mind, and that is winning at life. Okay, so you won't get any sympathy from us if you just try for a couple of weeks and then say, oh, this is too tough, or I can't do the work anymore. I've tried for 3 weeks now and I still don't have a client, or just studying the course took all of the energy out of my brain, so now I'm not willing to go out and sign my first client. No matter when you're giving up or at what point, you're not going to have our sympathy, because this is a group of winners, and this is a group of ambitious individuals who want to win at life and who wants to start a successful agency. And so we celebrate those who win. Okay, so to be a part of that group, you just have to do the work required, because we lift each other up as a society and as a winning group. Okay, and so as I said, we really celebrate those who do the work and who really try to win. Now, here are some things to watch out for. Okay, so some crucial pitfalls to watch out for and to not fall into. Okay, so make sure that you avoid these common mistakes if you want to succeed. Number 1, not doing enough outreach, because outreach is the pillar of a profitable agency. Okay. Number 2, overanalyzing and questioning every aspect of your agency and the business model. We've seen lots of members overanalyzing everything, questioning everything, and just working on things that are not doing outreach. Okay, and if you keep questioning these things and overanalyzing every single aspect, well, then nothing will happen. Okay, you have to watch out for working hard on anything that is not doing outreach, scheduling meetings, and making offers to people, because this is truly the only things that will propel your agency to success. Okay, then you also have to watch out for not thinking that the outreach method you're using or the niche that you're targeting is working. Okay, because they always do. It's just about staying consistent with them. Okay. And then you have to stop doubting or confusing yourself. Just follow the structures and do the work. Okay. So once again, you might have been doing outreach for 5 days and only scheduled one meeting or not have closed your first client yet. And so you just have to stop doubting or confusing yourself or asking yourself if this is really possible, because it is. You can look at all these successful members inside of the academy. Of course it's possible. I've done it, they've done it, you can do it too. So just stop doubting and confusing yourself and follow the structures that you are provided with, because if you do that, well, then you will see results. Now, a common question that people ask is, well, will this actually work for me, and why should it work for me, right? Well, let's start by taking a little look at my story, and perhaps this will put things into perspective for you. Okay, so I tried starting my first online business more than 5 years ago at this point. Okay, now I made some money, but it wasn't nearly enough to live a healthy life or live life the way I wanted. And so after a while, my family said, well, Sander, it was a good idea, but you have to be realistic, okay? Start by getting education, and then you can consider entrepreneurship later in life. It's not that easy, and it requires years and years of experience plus a degree. Okay, so this is how they looked at it, right? Because this is how things worked back in the day, right? You had to have at least probably 10 years of experience in entrepreneurship in order to succeed, and you had to have some kind of education, okay? Because they didn't have the same possibilities that we do, okay? But I knew they were wrong, and I knew society was wrong, and that everyone had it backwards, okay? It didn't take more than a single glance at friends, family, and society as a whole to realize that most people just didn't see the opportunity that is right in front of them every single day. We're not living in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, or even the 2000s anymore, okay? Times have changed. High-level education has been democratized, and it is widely available for anyone who seeks it and knows where to look. And so congratulations for you for seeking out, for seeking out this knowledge and knowing where to look, okay? Because you have it right in front of you right now. And so in this way, you have a very high-level education in social media marketing and running an agency in front of you. And so again, congratulations and kudos to you for actually seeking it out and knowing where to look, okay? And as I said, it's widely available to anyone who seeks it and knows where to look, and so is opportunity, okay? I knew that just by working with 3 to 6 clients that paid me on a monthly basis, I could make more money than my parents, most of my family members, and what my friends were aiming for making with their careers, okay? But society doesn't see this, because society celebrates people who have given up on achieving their dreams. It celebrates those who choose a standardized career path and strives for nothing more than average. Okay, certain cultures, especially where I come from, even frown upon those who win and those who make an extra effort. Okay, so depending on where you're living in the world, you might actually be living in a culture that really doesn't celebrate entrepreneurship and that only celebrates people who choose the most standard way of living and not those who try to make an extra effort to live life on a different level. Okay, that's especially true where I come from. Okay, and so you just remember that, you have to remember that this is how society looks at it, and that society actually has it backwards, because as a society and as the human race, we are on average bred to be very lazy and to take the easiest ways through life. Okay, and so for 99.9% of the population, this means being lazy and not making extra effort to live life on a higher level. Okay, but being in this course, and the fact that you've sought out this course and knowledge in here, it probably means that you're not willing to choose that standard way of living, and that you want to make an extra effort to actually live life on a higher level. Okay, and so you have to remember that as you see doubt from society, your family, your friends, etc., in the beginning, you just have to close that out. Okay, block it out of your mind, because you're trying to live life differently than all of those people doubting you, and so there's no reason that you would listen to them. Okay, this program is different. Our group wins, and we celebrate winners and those who work hard. Okay, in here there is no such thing as a show off, and we celebrate those who share their wins with our community. Okay, so this point is really important. There's no such thing as a show off. Okay, now if you close a $5,000 per month client and you go out and share that with your friends or somebody in your circle, well, then there's a chance that they might actually call you a show off. They might even do this behind your back. Okay, but in here, there's no such thing as show-offs, okay? Because we're a group who wins and who shares their wins with our community and who celebrates when somebody has won with their agency, Okay, we never frown upon winners. We celebrate them. We take inspiration from them, and we inspire each other to do more. Okay, so as I was saying, I was faced with this adversity and skepticism from friends, family, and society. And so I was forced to pack it up and give high school another shot. And that's when I was moved into this boarding school. Okay, now this is not a boring stock photo that I found on Google. This is the actual boarding school that I moved into. I moved into the middle building right here on the ground floor, and this was really boring. And I quickly realized that this was not something for me. Okay, I didn't want to live here and to do this traditional education. And shortly after, I decided to go all in on my agency, and so I could really just make something for myself and make enough to get out of this situation and live how I want it and on my terms. Okay, and so I made it my goal to break the norm and become fully financially independent. And I actually decided to document every step of the journey. And so you can always go and look at my old videos from 3-4 years ago and see I literally told everyone I'm starting a social media marketing agency. At the time, I was making $0 per month. I had 0 clients, but I knew that this was the right thing for me. And so I made videos inside of my room in my boarding school, and I said, I'm starting the social media marketing agency, and I'm going to take it to a level where I can become fully financially independent and where I can live life on my terms, move out of here, get my own apartment, support my mother, etc. Okay, so I really made it my goal. And so I wrote my mission down and I made it a reality. Okay, now on this picture, you see I was looking for different clients for my social media marketing agency. I was writing down prospects and niches that I could reach out to. And I had this paper on my wall, okay, pinned up on my wall inside of my room. Now I've taken a screenshot and I've zoomed in. So what I wrote for myself is I need to get 1 to 5 clients at 5 to 15,000 kroners per month. So that's $1,000 to $3,000 per month each, okay? Notes to keep in mind during the working/building process. First client will be the hardest to acquire, and it's all about getting that first client. Getting rejections is part of the process, and you must keep going until you get clients. And so I wrote the big picture, earning more than 50,000 kroners per month from your social media marketing agency. Okay, so I wanted to make more than $10,000 per month with my agency. Okay, and then I wrote up here, working towards financial freedom, independence, and power to take distance from the formal educational system. And then I wrote, complete your daily grind list. Okay, and so if you take a look at this picture, you can see this back in 2018. I made a list for what to do every single day of the month. Okay, so you can see I didn't skip a single day. And this was my daily grind list. And you can see I was writing down things such as look at Facebook ads, rinse and analyze, write everything for a Skype meeting with a client. Okay, this is how I took my meetings back then. Okay, and as you can see, in this folder, I have 866 daily grind notes. Okay, now granted, I've worked for a lot more than 866 days, but there's a lot of mornings where I've just woken up and done the work. Okay, but on 866 days, I've had a concise plan for what to do. And this was especially true in the first year or two of growing my agency. I had a structure and a plan for every single day. Now I still have this, but sometimes I have different ways of structuring my planning. But as you can see, I was relentless. Okay, I have 866 of these. This proves that consistency is key, and that's what it takes to see success with your agency. Okay, and now, even though I was in a boarding school, once again I was faced with skepticism and adversity. Okay, now it wasn't from my family, but it was from my peers and those around me. Okay, so my friends in my boarding school, and yeah, just those around me at the time. And people were asking, well, why is that guy waking up at 5 a.m. and running before the sun rises? He should come party with the rest of us and just relax, right? And so these are pictures I took from my boarding school, because I would always wake up, especially during the summer, wake up at 5 a.m. and run with the sunrise, okay? And there were these beautiful animals out in the nature. So that was the one advantage to having that boarding school outside of the city, right? We had this beautiful nature. And people were questioning, why is this guy waking up at 5 a.m. and running before the sun rises? And they're telling me, you should come party with the rest of us and relax. And remember that you're young, right? You should enjoy life now, and then you can work later, right? And I just realized that once again, everyone had it backwards, because I actually enjoyed putting in the work, so I could build something for myself, so that I wouldn't have to put myself in a situation 5 to 10 years from now where I would be forced to do a piece of work that I didn't enjoy, and where I would be forced to work from 9 to 5 in order to just support myself, pay for my rent, etc. I want to build up something in advance so that I can actually start building up some wealth, accumulating some wealth, and so that I could work from anywhere at any time and just live life on my terms. Okay, and so I realized very early on that it was important to start to learn to actually enjoy doing the work instead of enjoying just partying and being with friends, right? Once I learned to really enjoy that process, well, then life just became much more enjoyable as a whole. Okay, and the rest of them, well, they thought they could only get happiness from partying and being with friends, and they'll realize at a very tough point in the middle of their life that if they had actually put in some work earlier, well, then they'd be in a much more fortunate position when they're 30 or when they're 40, okay, when they're going to be forced to do work that they don't enjoy doing. Okay, and so that's how it was until they started to see results. Okay, and so I locked in my first client, okay? And so this was back in 2018 when I locked in my first client. And as you can see, these were on 12,000 kroners each. So that's around $2,000 each, okay? And this really turned around things for me, okay? Because this was the first serious money I made. And I didn't go and brag to everyone who had doubted me that now I'd made my first $6,000 and closed my first $6,000 client. But I, of course, told my family and my closest friends in my boarding school. And that's when things really started to change, and people really started to treat my time differently, okay? And so, yeah, this really just changed everyone's opinion. Well, not opinion, but their view on what I was doing. And that's when they started to realize that what I was doing might actually have some sense to it, all right? And now people suddenly started asking me for to go for a coffee or to talk about business, right? This was really funny to experience because I didn't want to go for a coffee with someone to talk about business, because I knew that they had no objective in mind, and they just thought that they would be productive by talking about business as a subject. Okay, my goal was much more specific. I was running a social media marketing agency, and I had a very, very specific goal in mind of becoming the best at what I do and working with 10 different clients and delivering amazing results to them. Okay, meanwhile, people were just starting to see that I was making money, and so all of a sudden they wanted to talk about business. But in reality, they had no clear objective in mind, and they had no idea how to do this for themselves. They were just getting caught in the loop because they saw that I was making great numbers now, and they wanted to do the same. Right, but I quickly moved on, and the clients became bigger and bigger, and so all of a sudden I was starting to work with really big clients, and people really started to open their eyes up to what I was doing. And before I knew it, I was steadily clocking in $15,000 to $20,000 per month with my agency, and it was a surreal experience. All right. Today, I've built a team, and I'm running a globally successful agency working with large clients all over the world, and I'm able to support those close to me that need it. All right, I'm living in my dream apartment that costs more than $6,000 per month. And most importantly, I'm enjoying what I do. I have the freedom to move around as I wish and to work when and where I want. And this program will give you the knowledge and the systems that you can use to put yourself in the same position, but you will have to work hard for it, right? We've seen tons of students study through the program and close their first 5 clients within 4 to 6 weeks of joining. We've seen members hit $10,000 in their first month. But we've also seen members that haven't closed a single client after 3 months because it doesn't happen automatically, okay? Now, let's take an overview of the program as a whole. Okay, so a macro view of what it includes, okay? So it includes 6 phases. And in phase 1, which you're in right now, we'll take a look at some of the foundations, which we're already doing right now, okay? We'll lay out the ground rules and the right foundations to build your house, and that is your social media marketing agency, on the right foundations. If you build your agency on shabby foundations, well, then you can get to $15,000 per month, but it will inevitably collapse before you know it. Okay, so it's very important that we build our agency on the right foundations, and that's why it's crucial to stick through the entirety of phase 1 and take lots of notes, because these are very, very important things. Okay, in phase 2, we're gonna build your agency. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at designing your agency, the shell around it, the branding around it, and I'm even going to give you a website template that you can go ahead and copy and paste in order to have a professional and fully functional agency website set up in a matter of an hour or a couple of hours, depending on how much customization you want to do. Okay, we're going to take a look at your services, how to price your service, and just the different things that go into building your agency. Okay, so phase 2 is absolutely crucial. And as I said at the beginning of this program, you can't move on to any of these phases before you've finished the phase before that. Okay, so you can't move on to phase 2 before you finished phase 1. You can't move on to phase 3 before you finished phase 2. Okay, because these are crucial and they're essential components in each and every phase that you need to have moving on to the next one. Okay, and so after phase 2, after you've built the shell and foundation around your agency, we'll move on to phase 3, which is where you'll learn to find and contact clients. Okay, so you'll get the industry's most efficient methods to find clients and to contact those clients. Okay, we'll experiment with different methods so that you can find the one that works the best for you. Okay, in phase 4, we'll take a look at our revolutionary meeting structure that will allow you to close clients very efficiently and get 3 to 4 times as much money out of each meeting you take as compared to not using our meeting structure. Okay, so following the meeting structure that we give you in phase 1 is crucial to closing high-paying clients. Okay, in phase 5, you'll become an expert at Facebook and Instagram advertising. We'll talk all about service delivery, so how to actually deliver amazing results to your clients so that they'll stay with you for years and so that you can have a consistent income with your agency. And then finally in phase 6, we'll talk about agency management. Okay, so once you've hit $10,000 or $15,000 per month with your agency, or even more than that, how do we stay there and how do we manage our agency successfully at that level? Okay, so I'm going to give you different knowledge and tools and systems inside of phase 1 that you can utilize to manage your agency in a very, very streamlined manner. Okay, this program is really the ultimate catalyst for success because not only do we teach you how to build your agency and all the foundations around it, okay, we give you hands down the most powerful branding and shell building tools in the entire industry. Okay, we also teach you how to close and deliver amazing results to your clients. And then we teach you and give you the right systems that you need to not just get to $15,000 per month, but to stay there once you've gotten there. Okay, so this is the ultimate catalyst for success, and we take you through the whole journey, okay, as an entirety. Okay, and you'll be taken through every single step of the process, and we'll hold your hands throughout, but it's important that you take action throughout. Okay, now here are the only things that truly matter with your agency, and so it's really important that you just remember these 4 fundamental blocks if you're ever struggling to move forward or to grow your agency. Okay, the 4 blocks are as follows. Number 1, doing outreach. Okay, doing outreach is the absolute pillar of growing your agency. If you're not doing outreach, well, you'll never shine a client. Okay, number 2 is as equally important. Okay, you have to take meetings. Okay, so if your outreach is not yielding any meetings, and if you're not attending any meetings, then once again you won't sign any clients. And so you always have to strive to have your calendar filled with meetings. Okay, now at the end of this module, we'll take a look at the raw math behind your goals and how many meetings you need to take. But you always need to ensure that your calendar is filled with at least as many meetings as our calculator tells you to take in order to reach the goals that you have. Okay, number 3 is delivering results. Okay, so doing outreach, taking meetings, and closing clients, that's not enough, because if that's all you're focusing on, well, then you're going to lose your clients and you're going to have fluctuating incomes and you're going to build a bad reputation for your agency. Okay, so pillar number 3, which is just as equally important as all of the other ones, is delivering great results to your clients. And number 4 is delivering a good service. Okay, so some people seem to think that just delivering great results is enough, but you actually also have to deliver a good service to your clients and make them feel welcome and at home working with your agency, so that they enjoy your cooperation and so that they're looking forward to each and every one of your meetings. Okay, so below this module, you'll find this screen right here as a pinup, so you can either print it out and put it on your wall, or you can make it the background on your computer, just so you always remember that these are the 4 pillars. And if you relentlessly stay disciplined with focusing on these 4 pillars, well, then it'll be impossible for you not to see success. Okay, now let's take a look at the raw math behind your goals. Okay, so what you see in front of you is what we call, well, the math behind results kind of spreadsheet. Okay, so this is obviously just a picture, but if we exit the presentation, well, then you'll see the system in front of you. So you can open up this spreadsheet through the link below this module. Okay, now essentially what this allows you to do, calculate, is how much yearly revenue you will be making according to the goals that you set. You'll be able to insert how much revenue you're aiming to make in new revenue every single month. You'll be able to see how many meetings are required to take per month and per day in order to reach that goal, and how many clients you need to close in order to reach that goal. Okay, so let's start from one end, which is your starting revenue. Okay, now for most of you, you're going to be starting at zero, right? If you already have 5 clients or 1 client paying you $2,000 per month, well, then you'll put your starting revenue at $2,000. Okay, so this is how much you're currently making when you use the system. Okay, for most of you, it's going to be zero. And so what you want to insert is your new client value goal. Okay, so this means that in your first month, you might say, oh, I'm aiming to close clients worth $3,000 in my first month. So that's the number you put right here. And then you'll see at the beginning of month 2, well, now you'll be sitting at $3,000, okay? Because you closed $3,000 worth of clients in the month prior, because that was your goal. Okay, so you can set these goals accordingly, okay? And so you can see if you do this for 2 months, right? If you have $3,000 per month for 2 months, well, then your total monthly revenue is $6,000, quite obviously, right? Now, it would take you to close $3,000 worth of clients every single month for 5 months to reach, well, that was 6. Well, it would take 5 months to reach $15,000 in monthly revenue, okay? Now, we've seen people hit $15,000 in monthly revenue within 2 months, okay? But that's because they set their goals higher. So obviously, in order to do that, you would have to make $7,500 in new client revenue for 2 months straight, and then you'd already be sitting at $15,000, okay? Now, what you can also see out here is your annual revenue, okay? So if you make, let's say, actually, let's just be humble here, okay? Let's just be modest and say you make $3,000. You sign clients worth $3,000 in monthly revenue in your first month, and you just keep those clients for the entirety of the year. You don't sign more clients, you just keep those clients. Well, already at that point, you're making $36,000 per year, okay? Now, the median income in the United States is somewhere between $31,000 and $41,000 per year. Okay, so already just for 1 month signing clients worth $3,000 and then keeping them for the entirety of the year, you're already making the average salary of a United States citizen. Okay, if you do that for 2 months, well, then you're almost making double the median income. Okay, so you can really see how this starts to compile on top of itself and how much money you can actually make just by closing a few clients. Okay, now what we've jotted in here is obviously in order to do this, you would have to close 2 clients per month if your clients are worth $1,500 each. Right now, for a lot of our members, they actually close clients that are worth $3,000 each per month. And so if that's the case, you can always go ahead and edit the formula right here to 3,000. And obviously in that case, you would only have to close 1 client. Okay, so you can copy and paste that all the way down. Now I'm just gonna revert this back. So you can see you would have to close 2 clients worth $1,500 each to reach this goal. Okay, now if we say that you close a client in 1 out of 5 meetings, well, then you have to take 10 meetings per month in order to close 2 clients. Okay, now once again, for a lot of our members, they'll close a client in half of their meetings or 1 out of 3 meetings. If that's the case, you can just go ahead and edit this. Right, so if it's 1 out of 5, you multiply by 5. If you close half of your meetings, well, then you only multiply by 2. And so to close 2 clients, you only need to take 4 meetings per month. Okay, let's go ahead and revert it to 5 meetings right here. And so let's say you want to make, let's say $7,500 in your first month. Well, you would have to close 5 new clients worth $1,500 per month each. You would have to take 25 meetings in that month, or 0.83 meetings per day. Okay, so you can see you would almost have to take 1 meeting every single day in order to reach this goal. And truly, the ones who are reaching these numbers are taking at least a meeting per day. Okay, so you can track the raw math behind your goals. You can set your goals right here. You can see how much that will result in yearly revenue, and you can see how many meetings you need to take on a daily and monthly basis. Okay, and how many clients you need to close in order to do that. So this spreadsheet just allows you to calculate the raw math behind your goals in a very simple manner, and to put into perspective that making a lot of money with a social media marketing agency is actually very, very realistic if you just close a few high-paying clients. All right, now let's go back out here. Right. So let's just take a look at what we've covered in this module and make a quick recap of everything that we've covered. Okay, so firstly, you've learned how the academy works and what to expect going into this course. You've learned how to find support in our mastermind community and the different member ranks inside of our community. Okay, so the different colored names and what they mean. Okay, then you've learned that this is no trend. It's an evergreen business model that rewards those who put in work. Okay, so there's no luck or flukes here. This is just an evergreen business model. We provide a service to businesses that need this service, and they pay us for this service on a monthly basis. Then we've gone through things to watch out for and the exact objectives to focus on instead. Okay, and then at the end here, we've taken a look at the raw math behind your goals and why it's actually very realistic to go ahead and make good money from running a social media marketing agency. So lastly here, to round off this module, this was a longer one, and it was much different from all the other modules in the academy because you'll be seeing much more of me, and the modules will be much more dynamic and interactive. But it was just very important to lay down these fundamentals and foundations before you move into the rest of the program. Okay, so by now, hopefully you've taken lots of notes throughout this module. Some of you might want to watch this module once again, perhaps tomorrow or perhaps after you've started the program. Okay, because as I said, we also covered a lot of just the main pillars that you need to focus on in order to drive a successful social media marketing agency. Okay, and so if you find yourself after the program struggling to sign clients, well, you can go ahead and rewatch this module, because once again you'll have refreshed some of the foundations that we need to have in order to actually build our agency on good foundations in order to focus on the objectives that matter. So finally here, I just want to say, go all in on this program. As I said, this is your shot at the bigger leagues in life. This is your shot at climbing the ranks and levels of that video game and of doing more than the people around you. And as a result of doing more, well, your yield will be more. So you will be able to live life on different terms than those around you. You'll be able to do more than those around you, and you'll be able to enjoy what you do more than those around you. And you'll just be able to enjoy and live a happy life working when you want and where you want. And that's truly what this is all about. Okay, so I sincerely hope you enjoyed this module. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of you in the following modules and to seeing you throughout the course. And finally, of course, to seeing some amazing results from your side. So without any further ado, I'll see you in the next module.